Hey, what's up, everyone? Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be going over Jordan Travis's throwing motion. Or start the video right now. This is the newest edition of the Performance Lab.
Reach your individual goals.
You don't want to just talk about straight line speed. We also want to talk about your ability to be quick. We break down your video.
Let's make you into the quarterback I know you can become.
All right, so I'm excited to do this breakdown because as I've been going through some of the top college quarterbacks, I really think that Jordan Travis is a guy that can be potentially very successful on Sundays. And not necessarily because, going back to some of the conversations we've had in the past when it comes to throwing mechanics and, being really, I guess, in the perfect throwing mechanics box or, anything like that, but really more so from a game management perspective, right? We're really starting to see how being able to just be effective as a quarterback really transfers over much more than arm strength and, overall ability, size, blah, 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 all those things. While those are important as a quarterback, they won't be something that you could always rely on, especially the higher level that you get to. And I like his competition too. Florida State in general has played better defenses, higher level competition. He's been in a lot more situations where you can see how he's going to respond in those really critical points of the game. And so here's a play where he just realized that he needs to get the ball out of his hand to make it so he's really throwing with great anticipation here, right? As soon as this tight end starts to break down to get around this linebacker, and he realizes that linebacker is not going to be able to react to it, he is just setting his feet and getting rid of the ball, right? He's not trying to do anything extra. He's not trying to get himself in a perfect position. He wants to really avoid getting hit by the defensive lineman. So he just got a ton of awareness, right? That's just such great awareness to be able to do that. He's got plenty of arm strength. Here's another one. You'll notice it's a three-man blitz. He's got extra protection with the running back. His O-line's doing a great job. So he takes his time. He's sitting up in the pocket and waits till he starts feeling the rush to get rid of the ball. This doesn't end up being a great decision, I guess, with the ball. But you could see that he does a good job of not rushing it, right? And he still is, he's not the best with his mechanics necessarily. There's a lot of things he does really well. Great job of being able to get that foot down. Really leads with the hip, leads with rotation with the hip. This is something we talked about a lot. If you're within our program or a quarterback that has worked with me in person, is really getting that foot down and starting to be able to rotate with that lower body first and creating that hip and shoulder separation. He does a good job of all three of those things. From there, he's really pulling that front arm back, and he creates a ton of external rotation within the arm. And then from there, he's going delivering the throw. Let's just see from a release perspective where he's at. We got 6.7, 0.67 is when he's starting, and he's got the ball out at probably about 9.6. So yeah, he's under 0.3. His release time, very quick, and that seems to be the sweet spot, right? The more that we see this, it's like maybe with the taller guys, you're going to be closer to 0.33, but if you're 6'2 to 5'10", somewhere around 0.3 seems to be the sweet spot of being able to really contort the body or rotate the body or utilize the body in a way to really maximize the force that could be generated within the feet up through to the hand and the wrist. Okay. And it's important to understand that because it's a very similar thing when it comes to sprinting, right? It's a lot less time, but that it seems to be like there's a certain amount of time that you have to spend on the ground in order to maximize the force production. But there's also a limited amount of time that has to be spent on the ground in order to really maximize your turnover rate. Okay. Similar thing here with as a quarterback is, really it has to do with just the timing in general and the sequencing in general. You have to be able to get the ball out of your hand in about 0.3 seconds. Okay. It's going to be a little bit higher, again, time period based off of your size and your age probably as well. But the better we can get down to 0.3 seconds, that should be really the aiming point. I think the better off you're going to be when it comes to understanding how to utilize your body effectively and efficiently while getting the ball out of your hands. He does a really good job of having his weight back, and then as he releases through, just comes right up over the top there. He has an interesting release in that when he finishes, he really is coming down a lot there. So he does a really good job of getting full elbow action. This has been something I've also been talking about lately with quarterbacks is I see so many guys kind of leave their arm off to the side and then they're releasing like this, and it creates like this elbow bend position, just like not great extension overall, where you see a lot of these top quarterbacks, and they get that arm all the way out in front, right? And then extend and come down from that position. And that really seems to translate well. Here's another one he's trying to put a lot more on. This one really rotates a lot in the upper body, comes through, comes down over the top, and finishes through, gets that front arm, pretty active there. This is something that not a lot of guys are typically doing. He has plenty of distance in his stride length. You could tell he's probably got a bit of a baseball background based off of what he's doing with his lower body and how he's trying to reach with that lower body. But, this is a good example against Clemson. I mean, he had such a big game against Clemson. Here he is late, coming down to, throwing some big passes to make it so they could get in a position to win this game. They didn't end up winning the game in regular time. They ended up going into overtime, but still, I mean, some big plays. Florida State's going to definitely be a top team here. It'd be interesting to see if they end up winning the whole thing. Against LSU, made some great plays. When it really mattered, he came up big time late in the game. Fourth quarter, he really started to show off and make it so they ended up winning the game handily, right? Because he just really separated the team and was making the throws, was making the plays that he needed to make. For a while, that was a close game, but once he started to kind of take over, it was game over. And, that's what he's been able to do really all season. So, I mean, obviously, Michael Penix is a top guy when it comes to the Heisman, and rightfully so. I think Jordan Travis is as well, but I do think Jordan Travis has a little bit better game to transfer over to the NFL. We'll see how that ends up happening in the coming years, but yeah, just my overall analysis based off of this. I like how Jordan Travis plays the game more. I like his mechanics more. I think that he's going to be able to really carry Florida State well into the potential national championship, but potentially win it all. That's kind of like my sleeper favorite to win it all is Florida State. They got really good offense and defense, and really a great offensive line as well. So let me know who you guys think is going to win it all in the comments down below. If you like the information, click that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel. If you know anybody that would benefit from this video, share it with them. In subscribing, sharing, those all really help us out, as well as the commenting. And if you want to take a look at our program and what we do for quarterbacks all over the world, we have really two different options. We have Quarterback University, which I think is a great option if you're looking to make some improvements with some of the things that go into your mechanics and your mindset and reading defense and just understanding all the ins and outs. I think I have like at least 150 videos on there that talks about different parts of the throw. And really the concept is, when it comes to throwing the football, is going to be not only throwing the ball underneath, but also throwing the ball deep, and also making it so you can incorporate some of these things that we see with some of these top quarterbacks into your throwing motion and make it so it's your own motion, though. We don't want you to be throwing like Jordan Travis or Michael Penix or Josh Mahomes or Josh Allen. Like, you have to figure out how to get your body to be able to operate in a very efficient and effective way to make it so you can generate power, have accuracy, get the ball out of your hands quick. But you have to do that in a way that's going to be unique to you and your skill set and your strengths and your weaknesses. And so really understanding what that means for you is going to be a very elongated process, right? That's not going to be a simple thing to be able to figure out. But I do lay out a lot of what would be some guidelines that you could follow and kind of map out what it is that you could work on within your mechanics within Quarterback University. And then we also have just our general 3-month program, really put a big focus on throwing power, throwing velocity within that program. And with both of them, we want to be able to give you the opportunity to be able to get personalized programming where you can get like exercises, workouts, drills, things that you'll be doing on a daily basis to make it so you can improve your strength and your ability to throw the ball. So again, thanks for watching here. If you want to find out more about that, you can always ask me a question. Check out the links down below. We have all that information down there, and we'll talk to you soon.